Welcome to Learn Life in English. Get smarter one video at a time. Have you ever started something with passion, only to abandon it halfway through? This story will change how you see your distractions forever. Meet Lucian, a young painter with a gift that made colors breathe. When he painted, his art told stories words could never capture. But Lucian had a problem. A problem many of us face every single day. He could start beautifully, but he never finished. Inside his cottage, dozens of half-finished canvases whispered the same truth. A sunrise with no sky. A portrait with eyes but no soul. Every time Lucian began painting, new ideas flooded his mind. Maybe the mountains next. Maybe the sea. And the first idea faded away. People visited his cottage just to watch him work. But they always left with the same disappointed sigh. So much potential, never completed. His heart burned with fire. His mind drowned in noise. And between these two forces, Lucian felt lost. Master Marcellus, an old painter with wrinkled hands, often visited him. He saw the struggle that Lucian couldn't name. One evening, Marcellus watched Lucian toss aside another unfinished canvas. He sighed and spoke softly with wisdom earned through years. Lucian, a man who follows every color, ends up painting nothing but confusion. The words hung heavy in the dusty air. Lucian forced a laugh, defending himself. "Master, I just need inspiration." But even he didn't believe his own excuse. Marcellus shook his head slowly. "No, my boy. What you need is stillness." Then he left Lucian alone with his scattered dreams. That night, Lucian sat before his half-finished paintings. His heart sank into the silence as a painful truth emerged. He whispered to himself, "If I cannot master my attention, how can I ever master my art?" The question pierced his soul. Under the pale moonlight, Lucian made a decision. He packed his brushes, his worn sketchbook, and a small loaf of bread. He began a journey. Not across distant lands, but into the wild landscapes of his own mind. For many days, Lucian wandered through misty valleys. He sought those who had found focus, whose minds were as still as their hands. By the eastern cliffs, he found a monastery. Inside lived a calligrapher with white hair and hands that moved like flowing water. Each day, the calligrapher painted sacred verses with a single brushstroke. His movements were slow, precise, as though time itself waited for him. Lucian watched for 3 days in complete silence. Finally, his curiosity broke through. He had to ask the question burning inside him. How do you work with such peace when the world outside screams for your attention? His voice trembled with desperate hope. The old man smiled faintly, dipping his brush in ink. "Because I do not answer to the world. I answer to the moment." Lucian frowned, confused. But the moment is fleeting. The calligrapher's smile deepened with ancient understanding. Only if you chase it. If you stay still long enough, it stays with you. These words etched themselves deep into Lucian's heart. He stayed at the monastery for weeks, practicing silent painting, learning to breathe, to feel, to wait, to truly be present. But when Lucian returned to his cottage, the old whispers came crawling back. Stronger than ever, hungry for his attention. "You can finish this later. Try something new. This isn't perfect. Maybe tomorrow." One by one, the whispers sounded like truth. Days blurred into nights. The meadow outside bloomed without him noticing. His paints dried again. His soul felt restless like a caged bird. This is where the story takes a turn that will change everything. Stay with me because what happens next matters. One foggy night, Lucian stumbled into the forest. His mind heavy with noise, his legs carried him to a moonlit lake. He knelt beside the water to wash his face. Then he froze. Something impossible reflected back at him. In the reflection, he saw dozens of himself. Each standing behind him, each holding an unfinished canvas, their eyes glowing in the dark. In perfect, haunting unison, they whispered, "We are your distractions, Lucian. Every time you run from your purpose, we grow stronger. Lucian's breath caught in his throat. No, he whispered back. But the reflection stepped closer, surrounding him with uncomfortable truth. You start but never stay. You chase but never arrive. The words cut deep because they were absolutely true. He fell to his knees, trembling. The forest seemed to close in around him. His past failures surrounded him like ghosts. Then something inside him spoke. Something deep and quiet, louder than all the noise. A voice of pure determination. Then I will face you. One brushstroke. One breath. One moment at a time. The reflections began to fade. As dawn broke over the forest, Lucian returned home. His eyes no longer burned with scattered ideas. They burned with resolve. If this story is touching your heart, please subscribe. We create these stories to share wisdom that can change lives, including yours. The days that followed were unlike any before. Lucian woke before sunrise, lit his candles, and painted in complete silence. No music. No interruptions. No distractions. Just the rhythm of his breath and the whisper of his brush meeting canvas. At first, it was painful. The itch to switch, to stop, to flee clawed at him like a wild beast. But Lucian did not run. Each day he painted only one piece. No detours. He poured his soul into each stroke. One heartbeat at a time. One color at a time. One moment at a time. This became his meditation and his battle. Weeks turned into months. The noise in his mind faded. In its place grew something powerful. Something transformative. Presence. Before we see the beautiful conclusion, let me ask you, have you faced your own distractions? Think about it while the story continues. Then one morning, golden light filled his studio. Lucian stepped back and looked at the canvas before him with wonder. It was a painting of dawn breaking over the meadow. So alive it felt as if the sun itself had chosen to rise within it. Every color sang. Every stroke breathed. It was not just a painting. It was a moment of pure truth captured forever. When Master Marcellus arrived and saw it, tears welled in his eyes. He could barely speak through his emotion. He whispered, "You've done it, Lucian. You've painted peace." But Lucian smiled, setting down his brush with quiet confidence. "Not peace, Master. I've painted focus. And more importantly, I've become the man who could find it. The true victory isn't in finishing the work. It's in mastering the mind that creates it. This is the lesson we all need. Focus is freedom. Distraction is the thief of destiny. Every time you choose presence over chaos, you reclaim your power. This story isn't just about a painter. It's about you. It's about me. It's about every person who struggles to finish what they start. The noise will always be there. The distractions will always whisper. But you have a choice in every single moment. Will you answer to the world, or will you answer to the moment? That choice determines everything in your life. Thank you for watching this story with me. If it touched your heart or taught you something valuable, please like this video. Subscribe to Learn Life in English for more stories that matter. Stories that remind us who we can become. Your support helps us continue creating wisdom that changes lives. See you in the next story.